Welcome back, everybody. We're time for more Dota 2 action. It's IG versus Vici Gaming. It's game one, right, Lumi? All right, game one gonna get underway, and
Game two.
Game two. Oh,
Game two.
okay. All right, thank you. That's why you're here.
Yes. To keep track of which game we're on.
IG versus Vici Gaming. Game one. IG. Pretty. They took their time, but they never really looked like they were in any trouble.
No. I don't think this can be classified as a stomp. It was just a good, clean victory.
Yeah.
Crisp game, as some would say.
Do we have any synonyms for
No.
crisp?
It's just crisp.
Clean.
Clean.
Vici Gaming. Yeah, it felt like Vici Gaming just held on pretty well. Like they had their plan, their strategy, but IG's was just they were 2 steps ahead of them the entire game and just managed to just incrementally get further and further ahead until they won the game. Storm Spirit, Ferrari played a fantastic game. It was cool to see IG also switch up their lanes a little bit. Like they put Hao in the middle lane on Lifestealer. They gave Ferrari a safe lane Storm.
That's actually something I've noticed about Chinese games in general. Xiaoi's been doing it. IG's been doing it. I remember Vichy Gaming as well as Tongfu's been doing it. So it seems to be a very, very standard thing now to kind of switch your lane.
Yep. I think it's better than the alternative, which is like, let's say you are going to put your Weaver or Lifestealer mid and you have your mid player play it, because then your lanes are still easy to predict, even though they're unconventional. But
That's what they used to do, though.
yes.
That's like I think there was a sense of like almost overconfidence slash cockiness. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll send my DK mid against your OD, whatever. But maybe TI3 is like you can't do shit like that anymore.
I think the teams are realizing how important like the laning matchups is, and by not just they're going different ways with it, they're also putting different players in different lanes to sort of reflect that. So if you have a safe lane Storm, they're not going to put Hao in it, because if the other team suddenly sees Hao on Storm, they're like, okay, it's a safe lane Storm, and they predict your lanes. But by having Ferraris on the Storm, you can't really just predict those lanes.
Right. Well, it's gonna be Weaver and Darkseer, same exact heroes opening her for Vichy Gaming. So they said they felt that maybe it's not really the heroes, but perhaps how they played it. You can go back with the same thing. Naga and Visage though for Invictus Gaming. I really like it when Faith plays a little bit more kind of up-tempo heroes. So Visage is one of his better heroes in my opinion. We saw how big the Nyx Assassin was in the last game as well. So I like it when he's going out there killing people, ganking people. And this is not a bad way to start the draft. Naga and Visage often regarded as kind of the 2 best supports right now.
I still want to see a return of his Disruptor though. It's been too long.
And then 1 game in the TI2 finals.
Yeah, which everyone will remember and never forget. I don't think any Disruptor performance will match up to that unless it comes back at like a TI4, TI5 grand final.
Okay, fair enough.
But that was, hands down the best Disruptor performance of all time in like any competition.
Well, that game was pretty stompy.
Yeah, because of his Disruptor.
Fair enough.
You put Faith in Disruptor in a TI Grand Final and magic happens.
Okay. So one thing that I've noticed about these 2 games is a surprising lack of Elder Titan. Elder Titan wasn't banned out in the last game till pick number 4.
Yes.
I know a lot of us weren't really caring about that because we were talking about crispier, as well as girls and stuff. But Elder Titan's not here either. I don't think Vichy Gaming have what it takes to actually put Elder Titan in the lineup.
IG will. It was actually Vici Gaming who banned it last game.
Yes. Because they already have Weaver and Darkseer. So you definitely can't fit Elder Titan. Three of which could be off laner. I mean, keep in mind that you can put him solo mid and go the Astral Natural Order build, which is what the Americans have been doing lately. Although I'm not sure how much Vichy Gaming have been paying to the American metagame.
Yeah. Apparently something that Bulba did first, and then MSS from EG used in that one game, and Bulba then did for Liquid. So
okay,
it's definitely a potential pick for IG, but more likely as an offlaner. But against Darkseer Weaver, Darkseer goes to the offlane, so it's quite likely it's a Weaver safe lane. So if
last game they had Weaver and Darkseer, and Darkseer was in the jungle.
Oh, that's true.
So, but the difference between this game and last game is that last time they picked 3 core right from the get-go. It was Weaver, Gyro, as well as Beastmaster, and then they picked the Darkseer. It's like, whoa, too many carries, guys. So they put the Darkseer in the jungle. This one a little bit more difficult to predict because both Darkseer and Weaver could be offlane heroes. They could be your safe lane in a 1v1 position. They could even go solo mid depending on the matchup. So we'll see.
It looks like solo mid's gonna be the Nyx Assassin for IG. So we're going back to a Ferrari Nyx. Last game it was Faith on support, but with the Naga and Visage there, we haven't seen a Naga carry in a long time. This is a forgotten way of playing the hero. Not so much as forgotten, but just
10
a
seconds remaining.
no longer as scary and viable way of playing the hero.
I think we saw Ice play him solo
5
mid when he was
seconds
back on Zenith.
remaining.
Was it?
Yep, it's something that's like speaking of, I mean, like the Singaporean team's Miracle when he was a stand-in for Rattlesnake.
Mm-hmm.
The one game they actually did
won,
okay in, and
yeah.
they won in the Cena Cup
It was a solo mid Naga into Radiance.
Yeah, I think I think it's a very situationally viable way of playing him. I think it's almost better than the carry Naga, putting him as a mid hero in certain matchups.
I absolutely agree. You know, being able to get a bottle and spam, you know,
Spam Riptide Mirror Illusions for days.
Yeah, it's cool. But I think Kunkka is the hero that we're both looking at. And are we gonna see some Wombo
10
combo counter
seconds
Vici gaming?
remaining.
Because this is Darkseer Vac into Torrent Bolt. This
5
is how you
seconds
used to make
remaining.
movies. You get 2 or 3 Seers in the game. You put a Shadow Fiend on top, and
Reserve
you got a
time.
clip.
All right, that's smiling. Holy Hexer, the likes of them are probably just grinning right now, hoping for some more action. We had some from our earlier series, MMY's Lifts on the Cliffs. I'm sure there's some clips out there of that already. But Kunkka, does he go mid lane against the Nyx Assassin? He gets mana burned a bit, and he can't really use Torrents all too much, but
I think the cool thing about Kunkka is that his skill build is so versatile on the lanes that he get to go on. I
10
mean,
seconds
if you go
remaining.
against the likes of OD, Nyx Assassin, you know you're gonna get mana burn. First of all, you don't care about the mana burn
5
too much because your
seconds
base
remaining.
intelligence isn't too high. Not against the Nyx Assassin. You could just level your Tidebringer and just
Radiant
harass the hell out
team
of Nyx Assassin. With that said, Nyx Assassin could, you know, counter him back with some Spike Carapace if that's what he's looking for. But Kunkka against melee hero has so high of a base damage. Keep in mind that whenever you deny with Tidebringer, you retain the Tidebringer. So you can keep denying, and then you just do the last hit as well. So Invictus Gaming is going to pick themselves a Gyrocopter, or sorry, Clockwork. And I'm looking forward to my YYF Clock.
10
yeah.
seconds
Well,
remaining.
it'll be the offlane Clockwork, something which you can almost guarantee yourself some farming experience using that little cogs trick to redirect the creep wave
turn
into
to
the trees.
ban.
So something which I think should work out pretty well for IG. Vici Gaming then go to a Shadow Demon. So you've got your Shadow Demon Kunkka. If they want to lane these two heroes together, they can. They can even send them mid together and put Weaver as like a safe lane solo with a jungler. This is a pretty versatile lineup as far as
10
Vici Gaming are
seconds
concerned.
remaining.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's still hard to say, you know, is Vici
5
picking up a
seconds
carry? Is
remaining.
Vici picking up another support? In fact, IG thinks they're going to pick up
Radiant
another support.
team ban.
They take out the Chen.
Chen, I guess it does make sense. You can put Darkseer Weaver, Kunkka's your 3 cores. Something I've just looked up here. Last 4 games IG have played, Ferrari has 0 deaths.
10 seconds remaining.
That is an impressive stat. The last 4 games, no deaths.
IG
3 of them being
turn to
WPC
pick.
games, 1 of them being in the Cena Cup.
That's amazing.
That's big. How do you do that? No
And
deaths
he's
in
not
4 games.
it's not like he's playing, oh, I'm going to sit back
Storm,
and...
Dragon Knight,
yeah.
Beastmaster, Dragon Knight.
Yeah, these are heroes that get into the thick of things.
Yeah. Beastmaster, Dragon Knight almost always on the front line, Storm Spirit zipping in, so he's going to be on the Nyx Assassin, which is,
10
well,
seconds
a hero
remaining.
that's going to be
I
wanting
think
to
we just
engage in.
jinxed him. I think we just jinxed him. He's going to die.
I'm okay with that.
Radiant
Even
team
mortals.
pick.
IG's going to go into Anti-Mage, which...
This is your 4 Protect 1, which is a style which I think still works situationally, and I think moving forward, the top teams are going to be teams that can throw out a 4 Protect 1 when they want to or need to, can pull out a super aggressive strategy, and that's where I feel this new DK roster is going to be really good, because if they want to, they can 4 Protect 1, and at the same time, they can play a number of other aggressive styles, and IG, their 4 Protect 1 about to be put to test here.
You know,
10
you know when I
seconds
said that IG's not going to have a bad draft and lose a game because of it?
You think this is a bad draft?
Compared to what they usually do, 3 core carry with face rush, tanky carries.
It's different, but different doesn't mean bad.
I mean, you have your Lifestealer, Beastmaster, Lone Druid, face rushing versus how Anti-Mage. You know, how Anti-Mage is fine, but, you know...
How Anti-Mage won Tongfu a lot of games at TI3.
They did, but I feel like this game... Vici Gaming's got a ton of weapons against it. You have, of course, a line fit pick. Definitely a counter to the Anti-Mage. You have X-Torrent, a way to actually get him back and stun him. You have the
Prepare
wall
for
illusions.
battle.
You have the Shadow Demon illusions. There's a ton of stuff against that Anti-Mage.
That's
And I'm
the-
surprised that IG has picked into it.
That's the deal with the Anti. I still feel like IG. You want to throw that at the Anti-Mage? Well, their other 4 heroes have a ton of firepower of their own. You've got a Nyx Assassin who's going to be soloing the middle lane, Clockwork initiating, and Visage, one of the best sort of mid-game heroes from about the 5-minute mark to the 20-minute mark. Visage is just king of team fights as far as damage output. So I still feel like IG. Sure, it is 4 Protect 1, but it's 4 Protect 1 where they can actually fight and deal with Vici Gaming's aggression.
Okay, we'll see how how well IG is going to protect their carry, especially against the the initiation, and how well they can fight back. It's going to be Banana playing on the Naga Siren on the Radiant, or excuse me, Dire. We're going to see Ferrari 430 working on perhaps a 5th game in a row where he doesn't have any death. He's going to be playing on Nyx Assassin. We have Faith playing on the Visage, one of his best heroes. How is going to be playing Anti-Mage, very famous for his Anti-Mage back in Tong Fu. And then YYF offlane on the Clockwork.
All right. Something you can also do with Anti-Mage, which I don't think we're going to see here, is have that 1v1 matchup against someone like a Darkseer. Anti-Mage can crush a Darkseer 1v1. Something which Black...
I think RTK should be just straight up jungling. There's no way he wins this lane. He doesn't even win this lane against... I mean, it looks pretty badly with things like True Melee, like Naga, Anti-Mage, but oh no. RTK, get out of there.
Yeah, he'll see those 3 heroes top and be like, okay, I haven't got a 1v1 against Anti-Mage, which would be bad in itself, but with the tri lane there, it looks like he's going straight jungle. And this means Naga, Siren, Visage should be looking for a lot of early pulls and maybe even a smoke gank on the middle lane, which is going to help out the Nyx Assassin against the Kunkka. They can easily kill off Kunkka
Smoke
early
in the
on.
middle lane, I don't know. Look at the Sentry Ward already being dropped down there. Didn't even go on the high ground to check whether there's Observer Ward vision. It was just purely for that smoke gank. So whoever, I guess ROTK, since he's jungling, he could just look at that part of the map all day anyways. And make sure that none of his allies get him.
That's going to help out mid for the first 3 minutes, but after the sentry was off, it doesn't last as long as Observer Ward. They can look for the smoke, and generally you're not really smoke ganking at level 1, because both Naga, Siren, and Visage want to get level 2, level 3, at least from a couple early pulls, and they're going to go straight into doing that, it looks like here.
Well, pulling and stacking is the name of the game right now, and Anti-Mage should be able to get every single CS, especially with a Quelling Blade on top. He's got Mana Break to help out with the range creeps as well. So free farm for How. What about the bot lane here? Going to be 2-2, actually being trapped in the cogs here, and YYF getting a couple of right clicks off. Ultimately, he's not going to get picked off or anything, but 2-2 going in with Sakuchi harass. YYF says, think about that next time, and we'll see if you're going to do it again.
I think he was actually trying to push him away using the cogs to burn a bit of mana, but it worked out okay anyways.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, it did a decent amount of damage. He's going to come scout at this pull, and line level 2 does need to be a bit careful here. YYF is getting very aggressive. I don't know about just walking into these 2 heroes here.
These 2 supports don't do anything, though. The center helping out with
Weaver's
stop.
here.
Oh, the Weaver is here. Does he have Cog available? Meanwhile, these nice body blocking from Finroar. They're going to cool down to another Impale in 5 seconds. He blocks into 2 support, and the right click is going to draw first blood. FY picks it up. Well,
that was just way too aggressive from YYF. He shouldn't have been going in that close to try and contest the pull. Even without the Centaur stun, it's still just way too risky of a play there.
And now the problem is that both Shadow Demon as well as Lion need a ton of experience. And that was a freebie to that Lion especially. Once he hits level 6, one of the most dangerous support. And 1 to 5, he's probably the weakest support, you know, as by comparison. So,
well, that's a really good start for Vici Gaming as far as their trial lane's concerned. They are giving up free farm to an Anti-Mage, so you need to have that kind of a good start. And Anti-Mage, well, as you said, unlikely to miss a single CS. He's missed just 1 so far based on what his numbers looking like.
Gonna miss another one? Yep.
Missed 2. That's okay. I mean, lasting under tower, it's sort of a sacrifice you make for your supports to get some farm by doing these pulls, so no big loss. Weaver actually finds a regeneration rune, and that was a Weaver who had 0 mana almost, so
nice.
That helps out a lot.
YF looks back and be like, man, didn't I just burn all of that? What's going on here, guys?
Yep. And Darkseer, RTK, he's up to level 3.5, so he's getting more out of the jungle than he would have in the offlane. And offlane YYF just about to hit level 3, so it looks like the 2 offlaners or 3 position heroes are getting about the same. Darkseer getting a bit more farm in the jungle, but it's not like Clockwork can go jungle farm anyways.
Another cog and under tower, this time Tutu's dropping low,
dead.
He's dropping quick, and Tutu's dead! Well, offlane winning by YYF, and...
He gave up a first blood, but he redeems himself there.
Okay, cool.
That's where it's like, chat will, that just happened.
Yeah, that just did. That means a quick bottle immediately if that's what he wants to go for.
Goes boots instead.
That's fine.
The boots is nice against the
2
supports.
very, very slow supports.
Yeah.
Lion 290 base MS.
And rotation coming in from Femra. He's thinking about maybe coming mid to help set up a torrent, but Kunkka's still just level 4, so there's no boat to follow it up. And this mid lane right now, we're looking at Kunkka with 20 CS, 15 CS for Nyx Assassin. Pretty much what you'd expect. Kunkka should have a slight advantage here as far as last hitting go. He's got a Quelling Blade, he's got the Tidebringer to help him deny, but Nyx with Bottle Crowing can easily get some last hits.
Nice impale into a little bit of Mana Brew action here, but you really can't trade right clicks with the Kunkka whenever Tidebringer is online. And it looks like he's going to go for the X-Torrent build. Really, really good against the Anti-Mage. And I imagine that's going to be giving him the option to go for those mid-game ganks.
ROTK is actually, he's come top, but he's actually stealing this neutral stack here. You putting an Iron Shell down, so
nicely done.
Denying a bit of farm here. Visage and Naga Siren can look to go in and maybe time some of those last hits, but they're actually definitely getting a few of them. And ROTK with an early bottle actually takes a haste rune that spawn stop, so He's been pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, RTK now come. Like, this is something that you can do as a Darkster or Nature Prophet. If you expect a push to be coming in, you get a ton of experience. In fact, he is going to get some under the tower as well. So both off-lane this game doing quite well. Solo first blood, or not first blood, but solo kill going to YYF, and now RTK getting a ton of experience. I do believe that Vichy Gaming is trying to do a push on the bot lane, but not sure whether they can do it. The disruption is what they're going to be looking as an opening. But the rocket flare,
Yeah.
look at that long draw.
2-2. He needs to get that tower off him. He just took 400. He's got a style, so he's got plenty of regen to negate this, but not going to be too happy about all that damage he just took. And YYF gets the creep aggro off, and he's going to get a full double, triple creep wave here at bottom lane.
Thank you for the push, he says.
Yeah.
Nyx Assassin now hits level 6, so the supports on the bot lane's got to be careful of rotation. And no, in fact, they're going to go mid. Do they have detection? They have one Central Ward available. And between a level 2 and a Torrent, they should easily get a pick off. Especially when 430 is out of mana at this point. Yeah, X, Torrent, Initiation, the Soul Catcher very easy. The Spike Perkins can block some of that damage, but 430 should be absolutely dead. The right click's going to come on, and yeah, that's going to be it. Disruption. Immediately after it, that's going to force Banana back as well.
No mana for Eternal. Maybe that we had to attempt to kill him Banana there, but they only actually just ended up getting the Nyx Assassin there. If that Soul Catcher doesn't land, they don't get that kill because it was that last right click from the line that got him before he escaped.
It was very close, and if he ever made it out of that central range, maybe you could even Riptide, or sorry, Vendetta to destroy
out of mana though.
Oh yeah, that's right. So.
But, I know. In theory, it was actually a lot closer than it looked as far as Nyx Assassin getting away. But there is a kill on him. But I don't. That did commit 3 heroes there. We're seeing Vichy Gaming decide to roam there. Supports IG just keeping Faith at the top lane, farming away on Visage. And I think this is an okay decision to make. Sure, Visage Nagasan can get some early rotations, but having a Visage with a lot of early farm and levels can really benefit you once you reach around that 10-15 minute mark.
The thing is, he's nowhere near that level 6, which is a concern. He's now hitting himself level 4 after this one big Centaur. Yep. He's not really able to get the tunnel through with the pool as well, because Darkseid's been doing a very good job in terms of stopping that. If you look at the support levels, it's going to be Vichy Gaming slightly falling a little bit behind. So, somewhat surprised, because Darkseid...
This line's about to hit level 5, too.
Yeah. Well,
I think he got solo experience on the middle lane, because Ferrari died so far away, so he got experience, whereas his team did not, because it looks like he also got the kill at bottom lane
the first
earlier.
blood kill, yeah, that's a big part of it. Looks like they're going to try to maybe set something out with the disruption opening here. Hard to actually get the combo off against Ferrari because of the Spike Carapace, but maybe they could make it go. Now, the way that Torrent does damage is that it does half of the Torrent damage right from the get-go, so it's only going to block half of that. It's going to be Disruption, Soul Catcher, Torrent, it's going to block half of it. The damage is going to come through, the boat's going to fly through as well, and the Soul Catcher damage, they get this one very easily.
Yeah, that was a simple kill. Much easier, much more crisp than the last kill, and well, they'll follow that with a bit of damage on this T1 tower. I don't see them grabbing this tower just now, but they'll at least put some pressure on it. And maybe even go for a creep skip here, but they still haven't really got the damage needed to bring down a T1 tower.
Yep. Well, we talked about Super not getting, or sorry, 430 not having any death in the last 4 games. I just said you jinxed him. We see 2 kills in a row on the mid lane.
He's 0-2. Vichy Gaming saw those stats and said, if we do anything, let's at least make sure we kill off Ferrari this game. Vichy Gaming really want this T1 mil tower. If you can get it early, it's fantastic.
It's going to be happening, and we're going to see a Vendetta hit right out of Invis. That's going to be a one-man impale. The wall a little bit off here. I'm not sure what the wall is trying to do, but Super is still surviving. The Torrent's going to hit on Faith. No Soul Assumption just yet. The Soul Assumption will fly through, but looks like we have one more kill. That's going to be going to the Darkseid Iron Shell. Impale, though, will finish off.
Meanwhile, middle lane, YYF's trying to bring down FY here. FY, though, he's just staying by the creep, so the battery assault doing no damage, and YYF going to be forced back, and Snare comes on RTK. There's mana for an Impale, and it's going to have it in 1 second. It's going to be popped here now. RTK got to try to get out of there. Impale comes in. RTK, Iron Shell. He brings down the Naga Siren, and maybe even going to get YYF as well. He gets 2. Can he get a 3rd? Ferrari's still alive. There's no mana on the line, and Ferrari, it looked like he's going to survive this, but what a play. Patience from RTK. The line Impale came in at the right time. That was a huge victory for Vichy Gaming in the middle lane.
Yeah, that hit Lion to level 6, getting 2-3 extra kills, and he's been involved in these kills. He's 2-0-3. FY playing a very good support this game, as he always does, actually. One thing to point out is that I think YYF was looking for a hook, and Naga Siren was in the way. He was going to block it, but I still thought he would have got the hook off, at least the damage to the hook, because the hook does have an AoE on the impact, so maybe he should have just gone for it for the extra damage. If he got the hook, I think the extra damage would have allowed them to survive a lot longer, and thus the Iron Shell would not have killed him.
Alright, well, not the kind of start IG were hoping for. That's for sure. The other thing there I felt that didn't go well for IG was Nyx Assassin, when he Vendetted in, he only hit 1 here with the Impale. Darkseid was directly behind, and he could have lined up
He went for
easily a
the-
2 hero. That was, in my opinion, that's a missed impale, because that impale should have definitely hit Darkseer, and there was even potential for a 3 hero impale if he like moved a bit further down for it. So should have at least hit the Darkseer, and even the line with a bit more precision could have been hit by a 3-man impale.
Well, we see a gank, Vendetta gank on the bot lane, but 2 Central are in the lane. Rishi Gaming completely prepared for this, and 2-2 will back off. He's got to bring up health first, so we're going to see a Lincoln Sphere coming out from Rishi Gaming on the Weaver. Bingo back on top lane here. X-Torn gank, perhaps?
Yeah. Finger of Death not even needed for that one. They killed Naga Siren. They'd love to get this Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage, how he's getting close to that Battle Fury. He's going for this naked Battle Fury build, which I agree is probably the way to play this. There was no one really in his lane early on, so Tread's not so much an option, and he's going to see this big neutral stack here that he can't really kill for the time being. But his Battle Fury is going to be up soon, and at this point, it does feel like IG, their draft is all about this Anti-Mage. That's going to be their one comeback mechanism.
I mean, as good as a naked Battle Fury is, you still need to have a Tread to actually take this farm to the next level. Without power treads, your attack speed is not where it needs to be. You can't really tank the jungle creeps as effectively as you want to. So, yeah, even though he's get the Battle Fury, the farm doesn't really start to pick up until the treads picked up.
Well, he needs to find someone to finish off that Battle Fury to begin with. He's only got 450 gold right now. Still needs the Void Stone, and farming these ogres is pretty goddamn slow.
And these ogres, they tank so much, don't give a lot of gold.
This top lane,
give a lot of
Anti-Mage needs to tell his team, give me this top lane. That's where he's going to get a fast buffer. I think a bit worried about getting ganked out here. Line having hit level 6, now level 7 as well. With a Finger of Death, they can actually gank and kill Anti-Mage. 1 point in the spell shield will block a lot of the damage, but Finger of Death at level 1 is some huge burst damage.
It's like, what, 600-ish?
600 after reduction, do at least, it'll still do like 350-ish, maybe
More than
400
that, right?
damage.
25% of 600?
And then, well, level 1 spell shield.
Yeah.
So, it would still do about 400 damage.
Okay, more than the Queen of Pain. Oh.
Yes, more than Pain off.
In any case,
Smoke gank from Vici Gaming now at the bottom lane. They're looking for constant X-Torrent ganks, and every time they get an X-Torrent, it's a kill. They don't even have to use Finger of Death if it's just one hero, so they'll save that finger for when 2, 3 more heroes come in. And YYF's walking right into it, maybe.
Uh-oh, here we go. Impale's going to be the open up
They
here.
do Finger.
Iron Shell, Finger immediately, and they'll just torn him down. That's all they needed.
I think worth using that. They didn't have the X-Torrent initiation.
The birds are coming in. They don't want the stun, but there's 1 stun, there's 2 stun, but there's no follow-up, because the follow-up's dead. Supposed to be the clock.
I don't think you can go... Yeah, you can't go into that, because once Impale's back up, you have a Torrent as well. They just turn that fight around. They still even have the boat, and Vici Gaming going to get themselves a tier 1 bottom tower. So they get the tier 1 mid, now tier 1 bottom. Anti-Mage is still farming away. It looks like he found the top lane to farm. He's picked up his Battle Fury now as well, but it's going to be Vici Gaming just taking towers, taking team fights for the next 5-10 minutes.
Coming out from Visage Birds. Nicely done. That Visage Bird had one of the better and faster animations in the game. So was able to chop off some damage. And very nice recovery, I guess I'm going to say. Maybe stem the bleeding a little bit.
What do Vici Gaming need to do like the next 5 minutes to make sure that Anti-Mage doesn't end up
Put
being a big
pressure on
threat?
Anti-Mage. Like, make him farm the jungle instead of the lane. Make sure that he's not doing this. Or conversely, get a Shadow Play up on Kunkka as soon as possible, so he could just gank him the jungle whenever possible. It's going to be a Vendetta gank into, Clock will cook. Nicely executed by the IG. In fact, Fenrir is going to want to fight right back. Disruption is going to fly through. They want Ferrari first, but the birds are coming in. These birds are doing so much. YYF, X-Torn. He's going to get someone blocked, though. Impale's going to follow through. They just want to lay out as much damage as possible, and they do. They pick him off.
It's still mostly worth it, because anytime they're fighting and trading kills, it's creating space for the Anti-Mage. Sure, he actually does get forced in the jungle with 2-2 appearing on the top lane, and 2-2 with almost a completed Lincoln Sphere has the HP mana regen he needs to up against Anti-Mage, but it's just general space that Anti-Mage needs to get more farm, and he's going to kill off this neutral stack now, and this will be just about enough gold for his treads afterwards.
How's just getting as much efficiency as possible, getting the boots of Elven Skin for his treads. Gotta need that extra damage, man.
Well, the boots of speed get you from camp to camp a bit faster.
He's got blink, come on.
Vici Gaming going for another smoke, it looks like. They're sitting behind their tower here. Actually, they haven't got a smoke.
No, they're just making a 4-man train rotation up top.
They're going to have 5 heroes. This is, I guess, the plan against the Anti-Mage. They're like, well, Anti-Mage has a Battle Fury, but even with Battle Fury treads, he can't fight. So let's just take towers as 5 heroes, because IG do not want to fight without the Anti-Mage.
Oh, they're just baiting 2-2. 2-2's going to eat a stun, but it's going to be, can we disrupt 2-2? 2-2's going to be fine. Nobody's focusing on it. Song.
He can't time-lapse.
He's fine. He's fine. Because IG's backing off now.
But he can't time-lapse anymore, so he's going to get mech'd up instead. And so, okay, more than enough heals, and now he still has the time-lapse, so almost, this is even better. Yeah. Save that time-lapse cooldown.
Alright, here comes the push here from Vici Gaming.
They've just got to let these towers go, and yeah, go for a counter push is what we're seeing at the mid lane. This tower probably not going to go down, but after this T1 goes down, it means Vici Gaming can't really continue pushing for the tier 2 because they want to defend this mid tower and not let like a Visage get a solo tower.
All right, 14 minutes in, Battle Fairy Treads, Calling Blade online, and that's when the farm begins.
Yep.
So take note of the 6,500 net worth of Anti-Mage in 14 minutes, and it's gonna go into a different level very soon, provided that he gets free farm.
Yeah, depending what Vici Gaming do, their decisions over the next 5 or so minutes is going to be crucial. Whether they look for trades or whether they look to just straight up gank the anti-mage. Well, when I say trades, I mean look to like 5-man push down every outer. They could just try to take every outer tower, get Roshan, and then push high ground. They don't actually have to gank anti-mage.
Well, they have to do it quickly though, because
Yeah.
Anti-Mage is going to be doing this if you're 5-manning. So I'm not sure whether 5-manning is actually a good plan. Super, by the way, has 2,800 gold. I think he just should get a what's that called?
Shadow Blade?
Shadow
Yeah.
Blade, yeah. And just basically put pressure on Anti-Mage, stalk him wherever he goes.
Oh, more pickoffs happening, and this time on the Weaver at the middle lane. No Lincolns up just yet either, and this is hurting Vici Gaming. He's gone straight for Lincolns too. Isn't even picking up boots along the way. But I guess 15 minutes in, you're not really expected to have a Lincolns just yet. We're still talking about early game here, and this is where Anti-Mage having these items already is huge. Top lane, meanwhile, YWF getting ganked up. There's a Shadow Demon Darkseer ganking.
Oh, back to his own cogs.
Wow.
He's looking to hook himself back out here. He does hook to his ally, but dies. Well, thanks to...
ROTK may go down though. He's got no mana for a surge.
Yep, he's going to get picked off as well. 1-for-1 trade. Finra trying to TP out the birds. Stunning. Coming. Oh!
Was it cooldown or just saw it maybe a little too late?
They
it
don't
looks
have
like.
much vision at all, so
Yeah.
they flew over it just near us. And
Oh.
meanwhile, a kill happening on the mid lane. Kungo is involved.
That's
in it.
Anti-Mage.
Yep, Shadow Blade into X-Torn gank. That's exactly what you need to do to the Anti-Mage, because you just have to pressure when you're Anti-Mage with a Battlefield. You have to farm, you have to put pressure, but when you do, you're exposing yourself to something like this.
Yeah, and he now knows that Shadow Blade is up, so less likely to see that happen again. But Anti-Mage just decides to go for the Vlad. It's not going to rush a Manta style or BKB or anything to get out of that. So it's another item to sort of look to accelerate your farm.
Yeah, I think maybe you have to just get a BKB quick. But Vlad doesn't really help you survive against this combo. If Super knows what he's doing, pull out a Sing Sing or two,
Yeah.
just cleave off the creeps.
The Vlad's is all about just accelerating your farm, allowing him to maybe kill Ancients easier. He can farm off the map, farm the enemy jungle. So he's just going to probably look to avoid the Kunk against while he just plays towards the, 30-minute late game point of the game.
How do you avoid a Kunga game? Kunga's going to come find you.
By not farming lanes. Because I guess you can't really Shadow Blade in unless you know the Anti-Mage is to begin with.
Okay.
Unless you're just guessing, then Shadow Blade in towards the Ancients. but-
Smoke gank coming out here, and we do see a Nyx gank into the jungle. He's perhaps going to go on 2-2. There is no Dagon up on the Nyx assassin, no matter what that cosmetic
It's a
may
level
tell you.
2 Vendetta, though.
Yep. We're going to see
Meanwhile,
the
River.
Kunga X-Torn gank right there, and YYF. Well, there's a song being expended to make sure that he saved the bug still on top. The birds are coming in, especially with the Visage birds on, or Naga came in, and with the birds on top, they save everybody.
Yeah, I think it's still worth using a song there. Just denying Vici Gaming a pickoffs here was going to help out quite a bit. Unfortunately, they lose one of the familiars. I think they get resummoned then by Faith. Faith cops a huge cleave at mid lane,
Man.
just out of range of the X-Torrent.
I
And how-
thought he could have faced for him or something, but
Yeah.
he didn't go for it.
How
Meanwhile,
back to us, split pushing.
yeah, exactly. Like, you have to make sure that he's not pressuring, and because he just saw Kunga in the river, he says, you know what, I'm safe here, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just go for the push.
He'll blink past, kill off this creep wave, and pressure this tier 2 tower. I imagine after the tier 2 mid, or Vici Gaming, maybe even before this tier 2 mid, just TP back, because they don't want to be giving stuff like a tier 2 tower to an Anti-Mage here.
They're not pushing as quickly as Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage's gonna maybe even get a tower trade here.
Yeah.
They have to back off.
Kunkka pops a Shadow Blade. He doesn't have a TP scroll. So, no push. The glyph being popped, Anti-Mage gets sort of, I guess, suspicious, because if there's a Kunkka TP to the tier 3 tower, he can die to a Shadow Blade X-Torrent.
He
And he's
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't need to take that unnecessarily risk.
Yep.
He says, "I done my job. I forced out TPs. They're backing off from my tier 2." Which, by the way, if it mid fight breaks out in that tier 2, the Radiant team wins that team fight 100% of the time.
Yep.
So
Oh, Nyx is actually going to try gank off. Weaver's got his Lincolns now bottom lane. But here comes Clockwork, so they can actually maybe keep him in place.
Mana Bird into a hit. Oh, it looks like the range creep blocked the creep. He's going to try to time-lapse himself out of there, but time-lapse is successful, and the chase goes the other way. FY chasing in 40 Impale. They're not going to get anything off, though. Swarm that's going to be on both of the
Can't
heroes.
TP.
There's another Impale up on these heroes, and they'll just back off.
Yeah.
Happy the fact that Chuchi did not die.
Yeah, I surprised IG went for it at that time. I thought they'd maybe wait till YWF actually had a line for that hook shot, because they needed the hook shot instant stun to prevent that time lapse from happening.
They need a perfect chain stun. They need a damage from the hook shot as well. I'm not sure whether the AoE splash actually went onto him.
Here we go.
Meanwhile, Kunga on the top lane. He did not see Anti-Mage go past his Observer Ward.
Yep. I was hoping Antimage was maybe killing this neutral camp here, but Antimage was playing it much safer than that. He actually ends up TPing bottom lane, knowing that, oh, Nyx Assassin goes back in, finds a line, and Antimage knows anywhere where Kunkka is not, it's safe to farm, and that's going to be Ancient's bottom lane. It has been stacked up once already, and this is going to be nice farm for Hao on his end.
They're not done yet, man. These guys are just coming right back in, just harassing Tutu. I mean, Tutu's not going to die from this, obviously. Nice cog harass. Just making sure that he's just not free farming. That's all you care about, because your anti-mage effectively is free farming. In fact, wow, going straight into the Roshan pit. This is aggressive.
Yeah, you can do just the Treads Vlad's battlefield. You can somewhat solo Roshan, and the Medallion going to help out a ton. You've got the Familiars there. Should drop those. Get that stun out. There we go. And
how does the Radiant team notice this? They're just pinging the hell out of the Roshan right now.
I think they know Antimage has a... They've seen this Vlad for some time, and it's sort of a known thing that you can kill off Roshan with it. They're going to scout out with a Swarm, and Antimage forced to blink out. So Vici Gaming, if they get here as 5, they can just steal this
the birds are in the middle of that team fight. Gotta be very careful.
Courier has a gem on it too. Okay, they get the gem.
Okay, one of the birds died. They still have Song available.
Oh, they'll look to steal this, and they've got vision with the Familiar, so...
Clockwork Rocket checking things out as well. Hao's just not in this team fight right now. Hao's just farming the neutral. In fact, he's going up north.
As soon as he's shown on the map, I imagine Vici Gaming just going to the Roshan pit.
But Vici Gaming right now, they are out of the Roshan pit. And I guess Anti-Mage predicted that. They're like, oh, there's no way they're gonna Roshan. But now they see, now they see Anti-Mage up top.
Will there be a Song steal? Clockwork Rocket giving vision as well. Naga Siren not really in position for this just yet. Will be so soon. The Familiar Bird just going to slow down the Roshan, give time for IG to get in position. Naga Siren
back in. Hao sells the Stout Shield. He's coming in right now.
And Vici Gaming, I think they just know they can't go for Roshan because they have no way of stopping Song of the Siren from basically stealing the Aegis. Man, Familiars get resummoned, and
once Anti-Mage gets to tier 2 and the Roshan's not done by then, Anti-Mage is, well, tier 1's going to be destroyed.
ROTK's taking a lot of damage here as well. He has still got his mech, but he's taking so much here. The sun's come out again, slowing down Roshan.
They got a TP now on Hao.
Naga Siren is asleep. He uses it in any second now.
Alright, is he going to sleep? They see it low. They hook her in, and the sleep's going to be there. Anti-Mage comes in with the steal. They get the Aegis on top. Now the teamfight breaks out. RTK uses the mech. There's a vac. There's a wall on top as well. The boat's going to come in. YYF is going to get bolted to the face, and now Naga Siren on the retreat. No, he's going to be fine as well. Now he's retreating. He's going to be dead. And Vici Gaming does actually win that team fight pretty handily. But it's going to be the Anti-Mage with the Aegis.
Well, do Vici Gaming, do they just say, hey, look, they're going to steal the Aegis, but we're going to win the team fight? Or was that like a case where IG did somewhat play them with the Aegis steal, do you feel?
I think IG... It's hard to call. Anti-Mage is already quite unstoppable. Now he gets to farm a lot more aggressively. I think if... At the end of the day, if I was IG, I say, yeah, I'll take that trade. I'll lose a team fight to get Anti-Mage free farm for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think with free farm for 6 minutes on Anti-Mage, you win the game.
I think Vici Gaming, they took a big risk there. It's almost, there's no way they can prevent that Song of the Siren from coming in. The Familiars give vision, the Rocket Flare gives vision. It's the easiest thing to time for IG there. And IG, they get the Aegis for themselves. That fight could have almost gone even better for them. Imagine if they just send an Anti-Mage to get the Aegis, and they don't actually engage.
Yeah.
Like, it was Nyx Assassin. Like, Clockwork didn't need to hook in. I think it was just a bad decision from Vici Gaming, and they're lucky to have gotten 3 kills, because IG could have played that such that they lost no heroes if they wanted to.
Man, Super was so close to dying there. If Anti-Mage wanted to mana void him, he was out of mana, so back off for now. The dust comes in from YYF, looking for any Weaver that might be chasing him. There's a gem that passed hands as well, so that was a pretty big price for that team fight. But you know, gold lead. They had 5,000 eventually, or at one point IG, or Vici Gaming, excuse me, and IG kind of wrestled them back after that team fight.
Well, IG now is, like you say, all the space in the world. Anti-Mage, it looks like he's just about got enough gold for his Manta cell. Just needs a couple hundred more, and with Manta level 16 as well, he is going to become a very, very scary foe for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, the Manta cell really allows the split push to go quite well. And more importantly, if he just Manta and sends both Illusion, for example, to the Lion, Lion has to blow some spells to actually bring it down. Lion should actually have 1 point to Mana Drain at level 10 to make sure that he can Mana Drain and immediately either find the real Anti-Mage or kill one of the Illusions. And between Hex and Mana Drain, you should always find the real AM.
Alright, well, we're going to see tier 2 tower at middle lane get taken out by the Radiant squad. I feel Vici Gaming, like, do they have enough answers for an Anti-Mage? If it goes late enough, I feel like having a Darks here, they've got the Disables from a Lion, they've got Kunkka who can be quite scary, and Weaver with a damage item, maybe they can actually take it late game, Vici Gaming.
I think if you have a draft that has enough answer for Anti-Mage, it's this one. One that has very, very easy initiation on him with X-Torn, when you have things like Blink Hex set up potentially from our anti-mage, or from our line, excuse me, and then you have nothing but illusion creators that could deal well by taking a control of his anti-mage illusions. But that comes to that team fight. Whether that team fight is actually gonna happen is the question. I think IG right now with their heroes, they have what it takes to say, hey, we want a team fight here, or we don't want a team fight here. Any team fight they don't want to take, they'll just song and get out. And that's an issue for Vici Gaming. They want to team fight. They want to aggressively go on the AM, but they can't find that opening.
Well, AM just split pushing with Daze here at the bottom lane. He'll quickly see that the Vici Gaming team are pushing down this top lane, going for this last tier 2 tower. Anti-Mage is going to respond by pushing out bottom. He wants to go force some TPs back. Mid lane as well, there's still actually a tier 1 tower there. ROTK is not top, so IG know at most Vici Gaming just want a tier 2, and they may not even go for that. With Naga Siren showing up, they decide it's not even worth risking staying around, getting caught by a sleep and having Anti-Mage TP in and just wreak havoc.
Yeah, they'll just have to back off. And by seeing Naga just charging in and having the entire enemy team backing off, IG should realize that there's some ward on the high ground.
AM going to get mid tower. Pops his Manta Style even to help bring this down, and well, no response from Vici Gaming. They're still stuck top, and no one can really TP to stop this from going on. And Nyx Assassin actually vendetted up, so I think we see Anti-Mage just go for this tier 2 tower, and maybe even somewhat baiting and hoping that they can get a kill here with a Blink Nyx Assassin. If he finds any hero here, they die to this most likely, except Tutu, I guess, because he can't be Blink impaled.
Well, Vici's going to get that top tier 2 tower, but that top tier 2 tower means nothing for the Dire team. Whereas this tier 2 mid means a lot more. So we're going to see a ton of TP rotations, but they're not TPing just yet. In fact, they're going to just give it up.
Well, they're going to pop this glyph, so it looks like they do want to take this fight. How going to leave his Manta Illusions, it looks like. Can he get the last hit with them? Super's got more than enough damage to get this deny, or at least should.
Okay.
Right. They killed the illusions was the plan.
Alright, so Line does have that Mana Drain level 10.
Yep.
The anti-mage deal with. And if you look at how the game started, it was Vici Gaming doing very well. They're leading by they led it by 5,000 gold. But if you look at the gold chart now, it's IG getting it all back. The tower count completely even.
Yeah.
It's all anti-mage.
Anti-Mage, once he gets his,
look at his network,
basic
Jesus.
items up, just takes towers and helps out his team as a whole with getting all this tower gold. Something you look towards these dire supports, getting more items, like you have your treads, your own 1,300 gold on Naga Siren, Visage has a mech, and this is largely due to the Anti-Mage getting this tower gold. He pays him back later on for the support he was given early.
He wasn't even given that much support. He was kind of having trouble early as well.
Yeah. The one who's having a bit of a tough time, I feel, is YWF on Clockwork. He had that one amazing kill on the Weaver at the bottom tower, but since then he's sort of just struggling to find initiations and also just dying very fast when he does initiate.
But I don't think he needs to do much beyond that. Like, this is your 4 protect one. You don't need your offlane to come up big. You don't need him to suddenly get a blade mail mech and everything else. You just need to hook in, provide a couple more stun, cog a couple of heroes, and his job's done.
I think he's trying almost too hard to get involved. Like that hook shot at the Roshan pit when they didn't need to take a fight led to IG losing that fight. If they just take the Aegis on the Anti-Mage and then back off, it goes completely different.
When you steal the Aegis, the natural instinct is like, yeah, we could take this fight. We just stole Aegis, but stealing Aegis and winning the fight is not exactly synonymous.
Ferrari constantly invis on the other side of the map. I'm not sure if they've noticed the gem pickup yet online, but I imagine he's had it for some time, like even before this Staff of Wizardry, so...
Wasn't that IG gem? Oh no, that was Vici gem that came in the middle of team fight, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure they do know about this, but this means Nyx has to be a little bit careful with when he's roaming around, but Lion is almost always going to be playing behind someone, so it's, I guess, fairly unlikely you run into him as Nyx.
Okay, so BKB's going to be online now on the AM, and once that thing's online, we farm more. Once BKB's online, you're immune to the X initiation. But there is Hex initiation. Unfortunately, Lion doesn't have his Force Staff initiate.
Force Staff is crucial, because otherwise Anti-Mage can just blink on you and it's a guaranteed kill. The Shadow Demon Disruption's a nice defensive tool against an Anti-Mage somewhat, but at the same time, Shadow Demon wants to be disrupting Anti-Mage to burn back the Anti-Mage.
Yeah. I think with the Force Staff finish on Line, there is a line of play where you just Force Staff forward, get a Hex on AM, and go for a kill.
Yep.
But not right now.
The other Vici Gaming hero who hasn't really been able to sort of keep up is the Weaver, I feel. His net worth similar to the Kunkka, but this was your safe lane farming Weaver, and hasn't even got his Desolator just yet.
When
30
you
minutes
solo kills to the Clockwork
yeah.
for no reason.
bottom lane. This is just constant split push from Anti-Mage, and they didn't even bother or care for using his Aegis. Like, it's more just having the Aegis providing a strategic advantage. Now that it's gone, he'll be a bit more careful with his split push.
Yeah, again, free
got
farm
the
for
KB.
6 minutes and wins game. If you look at the way that his support is playing for, this is true for 4 Protect 1. It's not just 4 guys that are just standing around doing nothing. For example, FaZe is pulling camp. Ferrari is just Vendetta next up to Tong Fu Hao.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he doesn't get ganked, or if he does get ganked, Ferrari is going to throw his life away to make sure that Hao doesn't die. This is 4 Protect 1 at the finest. You see randomly people stacking camps, making sure that they don't get picked off. It's just beautiful to see.
It's still anyone's game, though, as it stands. The gold graph showing a slight edge going the way of IG for the first time this game, but Vici Gaming, their late game not to be underestimated when you've got a Darkseer, you've got 2 carry heroes who are doing decently well. I feel the Darkseer actually, like, 30 minutes in, you're only level 12, actually not doing as well as he could be. But I think VG Gaming have just spent so much of this game sort of grouped up as 5 that some of these heroes are starting to get fairly underleveled. The experience difference is what really shows here. IG with a 7.5k experience lead.
Yeah, generally it's a 4 Protect 1 team that's suffering in terms of experience because your 4 is always...
Well, I feel like the entire experience lead is in the form of the Anti-Mage, who is level 20. Next hero is level 15, so the experience lead is entirely because of Anti-Mage.
Wow. He definitely has a ton of creeps to go along with that experience as well. Another 3k go. Didn't he just pick up the BKB a while back? I mean, this is why 6 minute free farm on Anti-Mage wins the game.
And he'll get 6 slotted around like the 35-minute mark, and that's when IG will look to fight and win the game, because they don't want to drag it to the ultra late game, because if it goes 50+ minutes, then that's when Vici Gaming start catching up in terms of item, because Anti-Mage isn't actually getting any bigger once he picks up his next item. Probably is either a Butterfly or a Heart of Taras, depending which way he wants to go.
I mean, the one thing that you have to be careful about, no matter what stage of the game you're in, is once Kunga picks up a Daedalus, suddenly random shit could happen. You have a good team fight, and then you just lose it because of a Daedalus Tirebringer hit. So it's really, really hard to say. Also, Spike Carapace becomes, increasingly dangerous when you get a crit and you're like, oh yeah.
Ooh.
And then you get spiked backwards. So
I want to see some blade mails on Clockwork.
Sure.
That's one way of dealing with the big Kunkka cleaves.
He's trying to evade it with Ghost Scepter, which is okay.
Yep.
Blade Mail's more manly.
The Ghost Scepter can help out against the Weaver somewhat regardless, but... And Lion, I guess, more... Oh, he may use Finger on Clockwork. He doesn't really care for using Finger on the Anti-Mage. He just wants to use the Disables for Anti-Mage. But for the time being, we see Hao continue to farm away in the jungle. He's got 4k gold now, and Roshan back up, so maybe look towards IG taking it, but they have to have the lanes pushed out properly. They need to see heroes top, bottom defending before they'll feel safe going into the Roshan pit.
Don't worry, Anti-Mage will get some hero top.
The big smoke game from Vici Gaming. They know Roshan is up, and they actually haven't seen Anti-Mage in a while, so I think they thought Anti-Mage was Roshing. They'll quickly find out he's not, though.
Oh, Birds. One's going to get taken down, one falls down. Quick reactions.
Maybe just the resummon from Faith.
Right, Anti-Mage's going to at least draw 1 TP, and they're going to lose the Roshan.
You force a TP, then you just take Roshan here.
Yeah, easily, in fact. They need some damage output, which, having a Clockwork, as well as Nyx Assassin as your 2 other cores is very lacking. But
Anti-Mage will TP to help bring down Roshan, though, I think is how you do this. And you have to TP. He's on the tier 3 tower, so Kunkka TPs. He pushes this out, and Anti-Mage, he should TP. He's going to TP mid. There was a tier 2 bottom tower he could have gone to as well, but he's going straight towards the Roshan pit. And they know Kunkka's got to take 20 seconds to get back before they can contest Rosh.
Kunkka's got phase. He's got...
I like what Super did. He cleaved 1 creep wave, then immediately made a beeline towards Rosh.
Yeah, no, he stayed around for another cleave on a siege unit, making sure that he can down there too. But here comes the Roshan. Roshan already at quarter HP.
They're here in
Swarm's
time.
going to scout it out. No RNG bashes coming out from Roshan yet, but just the sight of Swarm is going to bring them back, at least for now.
Yeah, I think Anti-Mage maybe should have stayed top a bit longer, because once he sees Kunkka cleave that creep wave, he should know that Kunkka's going to look to go back, make sure that Roshan doesn't go down.
But Kunkka doesn't need to go back if they don't see Anti-Mage in the pit. So there's kind of 2 sides of the same coin. Anti-Mage needs to be in that pit.
Yep.
Haldo says, I could just keep on farming.
Even send familiars towards the bottom lane to push out bottom at the same time as top. They need to be split pushing, I feel, 2 lanes, both bottom and top, and then try and go into the Roshan pit.
That's true. I like that idea a little bit more, because they do have Clockwork as a scouting mechanism. They do have Cookwork to hook, initiate. They do have Song to initiate, so you really don't need a bird there unless they are actually doing the Rosh. Having the birds there do give you the edge in terms of slowing things down, providing a chain stun. But Hal says the birds are not split pushing. I will.
Yeah, he's going to force TPs on this bottom lane. Kunkka, he hasn't actually got a TP. That's problematic.
Okay, so anti-mage draws a TP. He is already TP back.
Yeah, it looks like he may pick up an item here. What, middle?
Chuchu's getting bashed.
Yeah, let's say Roshan hit something. Rocket Flare actually just went on the Shadow Demon. Clockwork could have maybe gone in on him, but decided against it. And what did Anti-Mage pick up? No, he didn't pick up anything. So 6k gold on him.
He sold this or used the spot for
So
his teleport.
he forces a rotation back, but I feel like he could almost stay around longer for these split pushes. Like, he doesn't wait to see the high ground in the base. If he waited, he would see no one was actually there, and he could have at least got that tier 3 bottom tower, maybe down to about 3/4 HP, but...
Maybe I think it's just respecting the fact that there is a 4-staff on FY.
Yeah.
You get 4-staff, you get Hex.
That's the only way he dies.
Yeah, you could die one here and buy back, obviously, for the Roshan fight. But if you die a second time without getting Aegis, you lose the game flat out. So I just don't think it's worth the maybe 100 or 200 more damage on that tier 3 tower.
Alright, well, he's back towards the top lane. The split pushing continues. Familiars, I guess, being prioritized just to help out over the Roshan, but he's actually only got one because this Weaver constantly sniping them out with Gemini attacks, something that's really hard to avoid in general. And Anti-Mage, you can see how so scared here. He knows that one pick off is going to hurt his team a lot. And this is where Lion, like, you want to have a Blink Dagger as well at this point. His next item, I imagine. You saw Ghost Scepter's nice against the Anti-Mage, like, just killing you, but having a Blink is the only way they really kill this Anti-Mage.
Yeah, but no blink just yet. It's anti-mage, you know, focus pressuring up top. 2-2 gets forced back, and
Yep.
it's not the Kunkka, so he doesn't need to back off. It's not the Lion, so he doesn't need to back off. He'll stay, and maybe he's gonna go for a kill. I'm surprised he hasn't gone Bridge of Travel now. The way that he's been playing, actively, you know, going from lane to lane. Also,
Blink
if he had a Basher and a Bridge Travel there, he probably could have killed the Weaver.
Does need we need Abyssal Blade, I feel, unless you're getting some RNG
Oh,
first
come
hit
on.
bashes.
You know he's gonna get the first hit bash. Who doesn't get the first hit bash?
Well, he's going to force more TPs, it looks like. Just goes on this tier 3 tower, and it's a Lion coming in. There's the Force Hex, who's looking for it at least. Not going to find it. Anti-Mage Howard, some quick reactions. And now ATP's mid. I think they actually go for Roshan here, because they know at least 2 heroes in the... 3 heroes actually at the Vici Gaming base, but Vici Gaming already walking towards that Roshan pit, wanting to make a contest over this, but... I don't know if they get here fast enough. Lion especially is dilly-dallying very far behind.
Yeah, I mean, there's just the mobility of anti-mage is simply too strong, and they gotta give him the Aegis.
Alright, well, I think it was somewhat inevitable. I think Vici Gaming did a really good job of slowing down that Roshan, but now they're going to be up against an Aegis. It's on the Anti-Mage as well, so...
He's gonna get Bridge of Travel straight up.
Sell his
No.
Vlad's, buy Butterfly. Yeah, Butterfly.
Okay.
Butterfly is like the ultimate split pushing item as far as damage output. Heart does give you a bit more survivability if you get Hex, but...
I'm surprised they sold his Vlats, though. Vlats is... I mean, what else do you sell is the question, obviously, but...
Yeah.
I thought he would have just gone Bridge of Travel for more mobility. He still can't go Bridge of Travel.
I know that yeah, you want the item slot which Vlad's fills for something bigger, either a Butterfly or a Heart. When he loses the Aegis, maybe you either get a Heart or the Abyssal Blade. So I'll probably be yelling at one of his teammates, say, get me a Vlad's, although he's generally split pushing, so they're not there for the aura, but
Yeah,
come
for that
late
one
game,
fight, you need the Vlats.
yeah, Naga Siren will be probably the perfect candidate for that.
Well, we see a total of a 10k gold swing now, as the 5,000 gold lead for Vici Gaming now becomes a 5,000 gold lead for IG
Yep.
lead. Yeah, just, you know, just farming away. Look at this net worth, 10,000 higher than the next. So you see that all that 10,000 swing is just how?
Yeah. The entire experience and gold lead is all anti-mage. As far if you put anti-mage on just a normal carry hero's level for 40 minutes in the game, it's like an even gold graph, even experience graph.
Just say that even though House, you know, right-clicking these creeps, keep in mind that a lot of it is for Protect 1. There's also that 4 that's in it.
Yep.
Can't just ignore the 4.
Alright, well, IG, it looks like they're ready to try and end things here. They've got the Aegis Anti-Mage on the front lines. He's backed up by 4 heroes. Weaver currently split pushing top lane. There's a Blink, Impale in. Killing off the Shadow Demon is going to help a ton. Shadow Demon no longer in play here.
Not sure what I'm needing that BKB, but here comes, oh my god, RTK.
Yeah.
Monovoid is not going to hit too much. The BKB is going to be running out, and Tong Fu is going to actually drop quite a bit. Sorry, Hao is going to drop quite easily. Do they still have Hex available? No, they don't. They're now focusing on Super, and wow, Super just dies so quickly.
He's got no mana to get out of here as well. Super going to be brought down. Has he got buyback? He does. This is the only way that Vici Gaming are going to be able to defend. He's TPing in right in front. He wants to look for a big cleave here. Can he find it? No X just yet. He needs to. He's only got 2 points in the X as well. I'm surprised. Normally, like, by level 18, you want to have it maxed out, but he wants to go for these easy X torrents where you don't have to time the sort of the second X to return them. But it is going to be a tier 3 tower going down. IG decide to back off. They lose both their supports, and the Naga Siren, Song of the Siren, pretty important as far as when you're sieging and you want that get out of jail free card.
Yeah, if you lose your like CM or no, yeah, if you lose your CM, it's like you don't need to back off. Let's keep pushing. But you lost your Naga. That's a big ultimate to not have when your for example AM gets in trouble. And you said AM's still very killable.
Has a basher now though. He's almost gonna Abyssal Blade up very soon, although he will save for buyback.
Yeah. Also, using that BKB just for a Shadow Demon kill was quite suspect. But
He
again,
got Darkser as well, I would say.
yeah. The thing is, he wanted there to block that bolt, obviously, for the impact damage and the stun. But using the Shadow Demon, he doesn't know where the line is, so it doesn't make sense in the fact that, hey, you blink in, you don't pop the BKB, you get hexed and you get killed. Then you would maybe say, hey, man, should have popped that BKB.
Yeah, I think just using the BKB when you go in is definitely the right way to play things. Vici Gaming now going to look to sweep through the enemy jungle. He try to find some pickups. Naga Siren very close by. No smokes have popped yet, and Vici Gaming.
Oh, they find Naga songs, and the entire team comes in for IG.
Yeah. Well, if you can get a Lion Hex off to start things, but it's not the case here. And Vici Gaming still on the high ground here, and they haven't been spotted by any wards, but this is one of those super obvious smoke ganks. 5 heroes missing the map. IG are just chuckling to themselves, saying, we'll just wait this out. They've got no reason to leave their base, particularly.
Well, we say that. They're leaving their base.
They'll do so as 5. Ferrari on the front lines. And they spot Vici Gaming here, so they know exactly what's up, and they're going to maybe try and just catch Vici Gaming by surprise here.
Anti-Mage with this new Basher. Not going to pick up the Abyssal. Obviously saving for buyback.
Yep. Well, Rocket's going to do some scouting here. Spots both the supports, so these supports need to be careful, because Hookshot's definitely going to be looking for either Lion or the Shadow Demon.
Oh, Blink Impale. That's not going to hit on Choo-Choo. I think Choo-Choo got his Blink and Bird by the Mono Bird. Oh, EM blinks and gets hexed. Force that back song. There we go.
Uh-oh, Torrent's being used as a boat as well once the sleep wears off. Antimage's in the front lines. Lining up an Impale. Impale only going to hit Super here, but they want to try and bring him down. He does get the boat off. Wall gets popped. Now RGK and BKB form. He's keeping himself alive. Hal trying to bring down the Dark Team will do so. And they've also lost Alliance. Soul Assumption's going flying. Shadow Demon on the run. Super on the run. He needs one more cleave. He needs a crit. He's not going to find it. How Antimage gets himself a double kill, it looks like. And now, with Shadow Demon lost, with 2-2 in stand up, it's a complete, utter team wipe. 41 minutes seems to be the exact time that IG needs. It was 41 minutes in Game 1, and here in Game 2, it looks like we'll see another 41-minute GG. There's nothing left for Vici Gaming at this point, and I think they've got to just tap out.
I gotta say, I did not expect IG to play this level of 4 Protect 1 as well. Because 4 Protect 1 is something that you have to practice quite well.
Yep.
And we don't generally see IG play 4 Protect 1. I didn't even knew they could play 4 Protect 1 this well.
This was, to me, a solid game. They fell behind a little early, but that's to be expected with this kind of a play style. They never really win much doubt, I think, towards the housed late game anti-mage capabilities. And
Once they got that Battle Fury Treads on 14 minutes.
Yeah. I think Vici Gaming tried their best to pressure him, catch him out. They got the one successful kill on him right when Kunko has Shadow Blade, but after that, they never got a gank again, because once Hal knew the Shadow Blade was up, he played a little bit safer, he played more conservative.
Yeah.
Never got caught out, so I don't think Vici Gaming played that poorly. I think they had the right idea from start to finish, but I don't know what else they're meant to do. They don't really have if they had a slightly better pushing lineup, maybe they can take down more towers early on, but whenever they'd go to push, they'd push so slowly that Antimage would be pushing faster on his own.
Yep.
So
They needed one more hero, or they need to prioritize Lion's Farm a little bit more to get that Blink online.
Okay.
Yeah, we never saw a Blink Hex initiation until the very end where Naga Sleep just kind of bailed them out.
And even the Kunker, sure he got up a Daedalus, but never felt like he was getting a ton of actual damage output in any sort of... There wasn't
the
really
crits only
fights
went on
to begin
creeps.
with. Yeah.
The crits never went on heroes.
Yeah,
so.
he wasn't swinging in team fights, and IG with a better initiation. They did both the Blinking Nyx Assassin, the Clockwork with Hookshot as well, so...
Okay.
IG, this time, they did 2-0 it, I'm
Yes.
right. They're top of the ladders, tied with DK, both teams on 4-0, with 6 points each.
Yep.
So. Good start. Can't wait for that IG-DK matchup. Not for some time, though. But
What is our matchup tomorrow for
tomorrow.
WPC Ace?
Let's check what we've got. We're gonna the stream will go offline soon, guys. We'll have We Play Dota 2 action in about 2-3 hours time. But tomorrow's matches is Rising Stars versus Tongfu. So
Okay.
we can see whether this new team with Syla, CTY, and whatnot is actually a true contender. They beat WPC Team B, but they didn't do so very convincingly. So
No.
Tongfu will be a much better test for them. And our second match of tomorrow is going to be Rattlesnake versus LG International, and this is also LGD International's true test. I mean, sure, they lost 2-0 to IG, which is kind of expected. They just arrived in China, but if they don't beat a team like Rattlesnake, they're in some trouble.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, that's going to do it for us for now. We're going to be back for replay coming up next. We're going to be featuring the retry, the revenge, Alliance, and SST.
Yep, I think Revenge are playing today. Our first match is actually Revenge versus the retry. So this is the last match for the retry in We Play Group C. They're 0 and 8, I believe. 0 and 6.
They will maybe become.
They
0
may
and 8.
become 0 and 8.
Damn.
Then we've got Alliance versus the Super Strong Dinosaurs. I may have to pull up my dinosaur shirt again because they only win when I'm wearing
Yeah,
it.
your dinosaur shirt should be in the laundry because after Alliance is done with them, they'll be in laundry too.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Those matches start in 2.5 hours at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I think that's 18 CEST, so 6 p.m. for you Europeans out there. So come back in a couple hours' time. We may do a rebroadcast on one of these matches. But until then, thanks everyone for tuning in.
GG.